Guys, if today is your first time coming to this channel, I just want to say thank you for coming back to this channel, and thank you for tuning in again. Of course, I talk about the things that can help you grow, that can help you become rich, the things that can help you to become successful. That's what I talk about on this channel. I just want to say thank you for coming back again. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for tuning in. And stay tuned. And if today is your first time, I just want to say thank you for coming to this channel as well. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button, because I also want to grow on this channel. I want to take this channel to 1.5 million subscribers. So I beg you, please hit the like button and subscribe button below. Below this screen, you will see where they say like and subscribe. Do so, because by doing that, you help my channel to grow. Because a friend of mine told me I can never amount to anything on this channel. I can never grow on this channel. I want to prove him wrong, and I want to be better as well. So help me and subscribe to this channel and like the video on below on screen. Thank you. So on this topic, I'll be talking about the 10 enemies that you must know for you to be successful or to be rich in life. Because if you go through life and you don't understand or don't know these enemies, you definitely gonna fail in life. So stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Watch to the end of the video and know all these 10 enemies in which you must know to be successful. And of course, enemy don't always come in human form, but we pick them up, nurture them, and sometimes they stay with us forever, slowly draining away our happiness, sense of worth, and even our professional success. The good news is that once we do identify them, we can take steps to embrace them and love and lovingly send them on their way. Take this title test and see if any of these 10 creatures lurking about. So number one of this enemy is ignoring the important things. Ignoring the important things. If there's a leak in your roof, you can choose to ignore it, but every time it rains, the leak will get worse and damage more plywood and support beams. So it's with life important problems or issue. They are not going away, and the early you deal with them, the less you will have to deal with it. Suppose, for example, you have a colleague at work or family members who continually take advantage of you, perhaps borrowing money or eating up your time with incessant complaining or drama. Ignoring this behavior in the hope that they will soon end is a pipe dream. As difficult it may be, you need to be calm but firm. Each time there is a request for money or your time, you simply do not have it, or to loan or to give. Eventually, they will move on. When you continue to ignore issues that should be dealt with, you become resentful, irritable, and angry. Not good emotions and feelings to have, but when you deal with them and resolve them, you get sense of relief, comfort, and peace. How about this feeling? Number two enemy is envy. Of course, you know what is envy. We can all find others who have more, like more money, better relationship, more careers, success. We can choose to spend all our energy being envious of what other people have, and we can spend time being envious of them. There is family in the neighborhood that always have new cars, goes on a great vacation, and is just a living in a style we covet. There is colleague who got promotion that we felt we deserve. And there is a friend who inherited a great deal and is now living in a much larger life. Envy, while we often don't realize it, it leads to resentment and this dissatisfaction that make all of the great things about our own lives. This is difficult enemy to transform. But you can do it. Begin with making a list of all that you have to be grateful for. You will find that it's quite long. How many other will you envy in your life? Quite a few. Actually, place a sign with the word gratitude in easily seen places around your home, on the mirror, in your bedroom, or in your refrigerator. You need to remind yourself on a daily basis that you have many things that inspire gratitude. The more you focus on this, the less you will focus on what other own or have. Three is this one, everyone nearly have this problem. Is called number 3. The third one, insecurity. Insecurity is a great enemy. Do you need to be controlled? Do you bully others? Do you deflect compliments? For example, somebody always saying yes when you really want to say no? Do you get defensive when others provide constructive criticism or suggest that you could do something differently? There are signs of insecurity. Insecurities is a deep-seated enemy. He is hard to transform. You begin by embracing and accepting it. By holding this enemy very close, you can get to know intimately. You can see the behavior that are resulting from it, and you can then reverse those behavior as they rear up one by one. This is how the habit of insecurity get changed. You are a unique person with wonderful quality. Start living those. Number 4 enemy is indecisiveness. You only move forward when you make decision. Not making decision is paralyzing. Whether it is which car to buy, which job to take, or something as simple as what color to paint a wall. These enemies is easy to identify because you are simply stalled and then you do the following. You play what if games. As you ponder each option, you never stop. You continue to ask others their advices and you never stop. Here, the thing you never going to make right decision every time and you don't always have to be right. So ask yourself this. Here are the things you are never going to make. Ask yourself this. Here are the things you're never going to make a right decision every time and you don't always have to be right. Is the worst. What is the worst that could happen? If I make a wrong decision, you have made a mistake. You will learn from it and you will face it as best you can. But you will survive and start learning to trust your gut rather than the advice of others. Set a time limit or the decision and start and stick to it. Number 5 enemies is intolerance. Intolerance. What is intolerance? This is enemies that most people, when it fail to identify, we consider ourselves to have a strong opinion about the things, and the most often we tell ourselves that these are based upon our basic principle and value. But when we use those strong opinions to be judgmental of others in negative ways, we become intolerant. And intolerance can make us rigid, unforgiving, and unwilling to accept changes. When we become these things, others do not want to be around us. We stall in our career and we miss out so much rich diversity that exists in this world. So, start with something small. When next you stand in a line and there is an individual ahead or behind you because of his or her dress or hair color, etc., you have always judged negatively. Start a simple conversation. You may be quite amazed that the young man with his pant low underwear showing he's actually personable and able to carry on a conversation. You may be fine that the young lady with the tattoos and piercing that you have always condemned is quite friendly and nice. Tolerance must be practiced on a daily basis, and it makes us so much easier for others to be around us. Number 6 enemies is fear of failure. Fear of failure. This enemies is causing to indecisiveness, and it causes us to take risk. Without taking risk, we may never know our full potential. And how sad is that? Without risk taking, we stay in our rut while the rest of the world push forward into unknown. And the exciting and how sad is that? Do people fail when they take risk? Absolutely. You fail sometimes when you take risk, but they learn and they get back up much wiser for the next risk they take. So again, start with something small. Change your hair color or style. Grow a beard if you are a man. Accept that blind date you friend has offered. When you get used to taking risk in a small ways and amazing things happen, you find out that it can be exciting and fun. Even if the blind date was a disaster, you have a good laugh. You may decide that you will turn that to great idea into a business. And if you fail, so what? Number 7 enemies you must know is workaholism. Workaholism. And what does this mean? It's so easy to justify 16 hours work days and working weekends. All these tasks and projects, no one else can get them complete. And it just has to be up to you. What psychologists say about workaholism? They are compensating for lack in other part of their lives. So, if you are a workaholic, you have identified that first. And then you have to identify what you lack in other parts of your life. Maybe you are avoiding relationships because you have been probably born. Maybe you are afraid of getting out there and meeting new people or working on a social life. You must begin with an activity or hobby of some sort. If you are to stay in this dragon force, force yourself to take a class. Force yourself to join the why force, the why, which is the yes. Force yourself to say yes to the next happy hour invite. Even if you cannot force social interaction yet, at least get outside, walk through a park tree, and get around nature. The goal to learn that life outside of work is not an unpleasant or scaring place. Interesting. 11 different between busy people and productive people. Number 8 enemies. Impatient. Impatient. This nearly affect everybody. Impatience. Many are able to identify this enemy and its consequences, but embracing it, then changing it, that is quite another matter. We all have a tendency to want what we want right now. When we don't get that, we become frustrated, angry, and often unhappy. When people are impatient about things they want, they go into depth to get them. And when they want more rapid career advancements, they become more aggressive and perhaps make enemy along the way. Impatience is contagious in that it tends to carry over into all aspects of one's life. So that the individual has difficulty waiting for even the smallest things. The coffee pot to finish like percolating before, getting that cup filled, the car ahead to move faster when the light turned green, or the people in the line at the checkout. Impatience create impulsivity, frustration, and even anger. Getting rid of this enemy depends upon how it manifests. If, for example, you are deep in debt because of it, you cut those credit cards and vow to stay off of shopping sites and out of stores. If it manifests itself in your being rushed all the time, deliberately drive 3 to 5 miles under the speed limit as often as possible. Patience is a habit that is built over time, so be patient about it. Number 9 enemy is insensitivity. Insensitivity. Don't take this for granted. These enemies is insidious because so often we have no idea that we exhibit insensitivity to others. We are simply used to telling it like it is, to verbalizing every thought that comes into our head, and we rarely stop to consider whether what we do or say injures others. It is to verbalize every thought that comes into our head. We rarely stop to consider whether what we are saying injures others. Sometimes other person will tell you that you have been insensitive rather than get all defensive. Make a note of it. It is probably not the first time you have heard this. And when you have offended or upset enough people in your environment, you reap the consequences. You won't be invited to social gathering. You won't be asked to join a co-worker for lunch. The first step in the homicide of insensitivity is to admit that you are brazen, and to outspoken, and too outspoken. The second step is to practice compliment, like compliment given. Find something nice to say to everyone you encounter in the course of your days. Bite your tongue when you are about to spark off with some opinion. Try it for a week, and the way in which others respond to you will begin to transform. You like what you see, so keep it up. Number 10, the final enemy is rumination. Rumination. You might be wondering what this is. You cannot sleep because an incident from the day is still bothering you. You are running scenarios of it in your head, going over all of your conversation that occur, thinking of things you could have said instead, or you cannot sleep because you are worried about the next week or next year of 10 years from now. You are definitely a ruminator, and this enemy is stealing your time, your energy, and your happiness. So why let him stay in your life? Can you have a do-over of what happened today? No. Are you psychic enough that you know what next week or next year will bring? No. The only time you can control this is right now. And if you can choose to spend the now in the past or future, you will never find contentment. So, when the ruminating began or begins, stop yourself and say, what should I be doing right now? Or get your thought on something pleasant in the now. Is there a bird at your feeder, or a child having fun outside your window? Is there that leftover pies in the fridge? Give it a try. We will actually be far more productive too. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just want to make this video to help people overcome all this enemy. Thanks for coming to this channel, and thanks for hitting the like and subscribe button to support me grow on this channel. I hope you like it, and if you do, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button below. And thanks for tuning again. I love all of you that have turned into this channel. I upload video once or two times.